Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Ladies' Room, the one stop shop for conversations that interest the ladies. Brought to you by DLSU's official radio station, Green Giant FM. It's nice to see everybody here today, so allow ourselves to introduce to our listeners, audience, basically anyone who got interest in this podcast. Allow me to introduce to you the ladies behind this podcast. I'm Yen.
Hi guys, I'm Sam.
Hi girls, I'm Liz.
Hi ladies, I'm Chay.
And this is where you would want to go, where girls talk about girl stuff. Now, if you want to know what goes on in a girl's head, and believe me, there are a lot of things that goes on in a woman's head, this is your place. Now, it is a new installment to the GGFM podcast, actually, because it was previously a radio show, but now we're here in this whole podcast setting, and allow us to spill the tea to you today.
Yeah, if you guys are wondering, I feel like a lot of guys are probably thinking, girls are really crazy. You know, what's going on in a girl's head? Honestly, we're not that crazy. Right? Right, guys? We're not that crazy.
Yeah. Yeah,
There's
we're
just
not that crazy.
There's just a lot of things that we probably have to explain. And this is why the ladies' room is here for you guys to finally, find out what is going on. Why do we feel
there are a lot of things. There are a lot of things that goes on every day. So now we're going to dive into that one thing that we think about a lot.
Yeah, so one thing I've noticed with the ladies is that we're cautious with the people that we socialize with, to the point that we even like to identify their red flags, especially on the potential partners. But what if we got some handful of red flags as well? So in this episode, we decided to ask our guy friends about what they see as red flags on girls. And surprisingly, they said a lot. And one of the most common things they said is moody. And this even has a Filipino slang for it called toyoin. Because once your girl got moody, it's gonna be like a domino effect. And I guarantee you that this will escalate into something worse.
Oh no, what's that?
True.
What's that something worse? Because I know for a fact that being moody is just the calm before the storm in every, I guess, relationship. Right? It all starts with that, you're moody, and then from there it escalates to something bigger. So why do you guys think we were so moody? What makes us moody anyway?
Well, I think it has something to do with our hormones, since we have different hormones compared to that of the guys. And also the PMS. Have you guys heard of it?
Oh yeah, that is a very popular excuse as to why we are so moody, or sometimes we're toyoin. So does any one of you want to explain to us what PMS is?
Yeah, I'll go. And just to enlighten everyone, especially the guys, PMS stands for premenstrual syndrome, wherein this usually happens before the menstrual cycle starts, and women start to experience some changes, especially physically and emotionally. And the catch here is that we don't even know that it is happening, not until someone points it out, probably the partner. And sometimes they could label it as a moody because they don't even know that we are PMSing.
Honestly, I feel like with PMS, usually girls would use this as an excuse, when they're arguing with their partner, which is a red flag for a lot of guys. When girls go like, "Oh no, it's the time of the month, you have to bear with me and everything." But then again, usually it starts with that. Everything just starts to go downwards because of what girls tend to make these small things turn to bigger things. We love the drama. Right? You gotta agree with
That's true. Who doesn't love excitement every time you wake up in the morning, right?
So Yan, do you mean that arguments are actually exciting for you?
No. Oh my goodness.
She's
Everybody's
getting
gonna be like,
called out.
oh my god. They're gonna be like, she's a walking red flag. No, I don't think arguments are that exciting, but it's an avenue so that you can raise all your concerns. And sometimes we use that as a platform, though it's not really that healthy. That's why we get labeled that. Well, I'm very lost for words. I think that's why we get labeled as someone with a red flag if we like arguments, because that is where we can express our feelings, our suppressed feelings. So, no, it's not exciting. It's not healthy if you fight every single day.
But you know what? I actually get why people think that arguments would be exciting, because it could actually result to sweet talks and then cute hugging or like kissing when you guys make up. Okay, it's showing. I'm the red flag.
Thinking about it, oh my gosh, that you're right.
Yeah, I kind of agree that arguments are sometimes fun because it like awakens our adrenaline and adds more excitement and spice to our day. But if this happens on a daily basis, I think this takes out the fun out of the equation and replaces
That's
it
true.
with toxicity.
Yeah, exactly. And it just becomes, way worse if at some point you tend to invalidate the other person's feelings. And then, like what we said earlier, we turn the smallest things into like bigger things. And what's wrong along the way is that we don't even tell the other person anymore, like what's really going on. We tend to just keep it to ourselves because, again, as women, a lot of us want them to sweet talk us, to comfort us, to go to us.
Yeah.
And then if we don't get that, we're just gonna explode. Right?
Sam, I think you're very passionate about this. Have you ever given anyone the silent treatment?
I think in general, I'm the type of person who just, keeps quiet, and then I'll let you figure it on your own, which is wrong. So that is a big
You're not
red
mind
flag.
readers.
Exactly. So I think that's what people have to realize. Guys are not mind readers. You have to communicate well to the person, right?
And I think it's very important that they understand, because you can't just keep bringing up your problems and nothing is getting fixed. They also need to understand where you're coming from. In the same way, you are supposed to understand that they cannot adjust all their lives. That they are going to get tired of dealing with your moodiness if you do not deal with it on your own. So I think one of the ways where you could actually combat this whole toyo-ness or this whole moodiness in order to promote a healthier conversation is that you need to understand that no one else is going to deal with you having your mood swings all the time except for you.
Yeah, I do agree with Yen that it's only us who could control our emotions, and it's not our partner's responsibility to fix it. And we can't blame them if they can't lighten our mood, because what we feel doesn't depend on other people's actions.
Yeah. And for me, I guess overall, just to kind of put things to an end with this whole moody situation, you have to learn how to communicate well with your partner. That's it.
That's true.
Don't give the silent treatment. Maybe at some point it is gonna be kind of fun because you're there's a thrill, right? You gotta admit there's a thrill.
You're with the upper hand.
Yeah, exactly. But then in the long run, come on, guys, you want to fix things eventually. So be more mature about it and talk about it. I guess that's the better way of handling things. How about you, Liz?
Yeah. Like, communication may be really so hard to do, but that is like the right thing to do. So that is what we should really do. Oh my god, I kept on saying the word do. Anyway, because sometimes if we don't, handle our mood swings, it could actually result to bigger misunderstandings, such as being branded as someone who just can't, respect other people's quality time.
Oh my goodness. Are you guilty of that?
No comment.
No comment. Come on. We are in the ladies' room. Come on. Spill some tea, Liz.
Yeah. Okay. So I am someone who is really clingy. I just want to really hoard attention to myself. And so even though people are quite busy, I would just be like, oh my god, you need to pay me more attention, and then stuff like that. So I know that it's really toxic. But yeah.
Attention
no
so
doubt.
much.
No, but
Yeah, I think a possible
Go ahead.
reason is that quality time is a common love language, especially to the ladies. Like,
yeah.
if you are on your honeymoon phase, like, you just want all of their attention to you, but it sometimes results into something negative.
You know, when you how do you think is the how long do you think is the honeymoon phase? Like around what's your estimate? 3 months? 2 months?
1 month.
1 month. Okay.
1 month.
It's 1 month. I thought it was 3 months this whole time.
Well,
Now,
you're
here's the thing.
lucky.
No, here's the thing. When you get out of your honeymoon phase, you are going to forget that you are no longer in your honeymoon phase. So the attention that you've been receiving during that first few months, you are going to crave for it after, but your partner can't give it anymore. So you are going to think that they don't have time for you anymore. Did you ever feel like that at any point in your life? Because I have.
Really, and why won't you spill some of your of your tea right there? Because the way I see it, really, it's really different for a lot of people, for girls, for men. That some people, they prefer, their love language is to be clingy, clingy in a way, in different ways, because you can be clingy physically or even through your words, right? So
Yeah.
That's true.
I think in my case, or I don't know about you guys, but I'm the type who's clingy when it comes to words. And I also want attention, but I've learned that there is a limit. Sometimes guys want their me time. Obviously, right?
Yes, that's
It's
true.
same with girls. We want our me time, but sometimes I
Really?
guess
Do you really
Yeah.
want me time?
of course we do. No, but yeah, I feel like for girls, example, when you guys are fighting, the couple's fighting, and then the guy would think that the girl wants space, so he goes and plays with his video games, obviously, right? With his ML, Valorant. Yeah, so he goes play because he thinks that the girl needs space. But then the girl is, just thinking like, oh my God, why is he not approaching me? Why is he not talking? Why is he just playing games? Right?
Yeah, like
This
they
reminds me
don't
of that situation.
realize they
Yes,
don't
Jenny.
realize
Yeah.
that we are just longing for their affection. What are you
That's
saying,
true. Or like
Chai?
a simple update. A simple update would do without you having to bring it up. That is actually, that's actually pretty nice because you cannot, that's something I learned over the past few months. You cannot pause video games. Like a lot of video games, you cannot pause it. But especially like Valorant. And
Yeah,
all that.
because when guys play their games, all of their focus, 100% of it is there. Like, they won't even know that you exist anymore. And it's gonna be like, the last message is from 9 a.m. It says, good morning. And then the next message is at 11. It says, I'm done playing. Good night. It's gonna be like that.
It's like you have so
you ever
much
experienced that, Chai? Yeah, have you ever experienced that?
No comment.
No comment. Wow, we're all throwing out no comments here.
Yeah, that's our favorite
Because we
word.
might be labeled as red flags joke.
That's true.
But you know what? If
But
you're
yeah.
wondering why your significant other is not replying to you, just go to Discord and you would know. Like maybe that guy is streaming or like in a voice channel or something like that.
You can actually see if they're online on Discord if you're friends with them. So, okay. Sometimes
Wow.
I think to myself, if they're not... No. Because sometimes only two things could happen if they don't reply. It's either they're asleep or they're off doing something else. So if you see
is
that
video
they're
games.
online on if you see them online on Discord and they're not replying, you think that they're just having their me time, and that makes everything pretty fine,
Yeah.
But it's not really that bad to at least get an update every once in a while, so that they could also satisfy your need for attention. At the same time, you can satisfy their need for their own time.
Yeah, and speaking
Yeah,
of...
I think
Go ahead, Chai.
Okay. So I think there is this line between considering it as disrespectful or it's just a misunderstanding. But
Oh, yeah.
when you already told them, when they already told you that they'll be busy or want some alone time, just like playing games, yet you still ask for some attention or still got mad that they're gonna play games, I think that is when you consider it as disrespectful. But if you weren't aware what they were doing, that they were busy, I don't think it's disrespectful at all. I think that you just didn't know. It was just some kind of a misunderstanding.
And speaking of me time, actually, I feel like the best way really to handle this, as as anyone really, whether you're in a relationship or not, with your friends, when you're that clingy type, I guess it's more of just doing things you enjoy and focusing on something that you could preoccupy yourself with, especially with your partner. You don't have to do things together. You don't have to always spend time together. So I feel like, example, with your partner, if he enjoys playing games, then maybe you could also find something that you could do, preoccupy yourself with, so that it distracts you and makes you actually find things to focus on and improve on yourself, right? You don't always have to be with your partner 24/7.
That's true. You are going to get tired of each other eventually. That's why you need to understand that at the end of the day, their world does not revolve around you, and your world does not revolve around them. So you have to really try to enjoy alone time. Like, try to understand that they cannot give you attention all the time. Actually, you can get attention elsewhere, with your friends, with your family. It's not always your partner. You think your partner is the only one who can satisfy that need for attention because they're the ones who actually spill their emotions sometimes. But that's not the case. You can satisfy that need elsewhere, so that it doesn't become that toxic as well.
Yeah,
So I think
exactly.
it just you just gotta understand them, period. Because understanding that they have other things to do that does not involve you, because you're not their life. You're just a part of it. Because if it's the other way around, like if it's your partner who's disrespecting your time, I think that you would feel the same way, especially if this happens often. It would get annoying on both sides.
Yeah, and like what Sam stated a while ago, you should also find something else that you could do. Like, just embrace your individuality and let them embrace theirs also.
See, there's so much advice coming off of her. We should take these advice also for ourselves. Okay, we should remind
That's
ourselves
true.
that.
I'm actually learning a lot. I'm learning a lot right now.
Yeah, this is self-reflection, and we're gonna be learning a lot of things together. So moving on, actually, I think building the tension here now. When our partners don't, have time for us, and when things become worse, we go into big fights, I guess. We tend to turn to our best friends, which isn't a wrong thing, right? But I guess what becomes a red flag for guys is that when we turn to our boy best friend. So what do you guys think about that? Because we gotta settle the debate here. People are gonna be mad. It's very controversial.
Well, sometimes you just want. Usually, you turn to your girl best friends, right? If you have a problem, if you want to rant about something. But if it involves a guy and you just really want to understand what's going on in his head, like, that's why I think, yeah, that's true. Like in my case, that's why you turn to other guys to understand what is going on with your partner's head. But then sometimes you tend to forget that there are boundaries that need to be established. That's why it becomes controversial, because there are just really some people who don't get that mix right. What do you think about it? Listen, John.
Yeah, I think it's also because it's easier. Like, since it's just a platonic relationship with your guy best friend, it would feel casual. Like, there would be less consequences. Because if you tell your problems about your partner through your partner, then it would be a serious discussion. Though it's necessary. But if it's with your best friend, it would feel like it's just some kind of plain ranting. And like you're just conversing with each other. And maybe the reason why they're talking about it first with a boy best friend is because they're not ready to address the situation with their partner, and maybe they're just getting some insights from the guy's perspective.
Yeah, I think another reason could be that we just think that our boy best friend would understand us more, considering that they already, like experienced these stuff like that.
Yeah, but it just turns into a turn off for guys, especially when, example, your significant other tells you these certain details, or tells you something, anything really, and then you tell your boy best friend, or vice versa, your boy best friend tells you something and then you tell it to your boyfriend. So I guess that's where most, guys would be kind of not mad, but I guess they're just
Kind of
say,
iffy about
Bothered.
it.
yeah,
I
iffy,
understand.
yeah.
It could
Bothered
bother
about
them.
it. Like, shouldn't we there's a lot of stuff that you cannot tell the other person, and you gotta keep it private. So there's a line you gotta draw. And
Or-
for me personally,
yeah.
I think that is right though. There is a certain line that you gotta draw with your boy best friend, right? And
or
that
any other
yeah,
boyfriend.
yeah,
you
exactly.
know.
And they have to respect it, I guess, right?
Yeah, actually, I have an experience. Wow. Here is the tea for everybody today. Around a few. Okay, never mind. I don't want to mention anything. But a few weeks ago, a few months ago, basically, I had a problem with someone. I had a problem with someone, and I turned to three guys. I turned
Oh,
to
wow.
three guys.
Wow. That was a lot of
Yeah. No, because I don't, oh my goodness, I don't have any guy best friend that I actually go to constantly. So I have a bunch of friends that I can go to. And instead of saying my problem, I ended up just crying on the spot.
oh
So
my
after,
God.
yeah, I was just there crying, and they did not ask me why anymore. Like, they already knew that it was a problem with a boy. And they just told me to keep calm, it will pass. And they
Aw,
started
that's so sweet.
saying things that actually helped me calm down. Now, at the end of the day, I realized that I didn't have to spill anything. They already understood that was what was going on. And I saw that boundary. They were the ones who drew the boundary, because it's disrespectful if I share my problems, every single detail with them, because
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
disrespectful to your relationship. And even if it strengthens your friendship, they're not in the place to hear that as well. So there are really some guys or some boy best friends who actually respect that. So you both need to have that responsibility of drawing that line so that the other one does not get jealous or even bothered.
So, well, I guess it just boils down to one thing, really, respect, communicating with each
Boundaries.
other, right? With your guy best friend and your boyfriend. But I'm not surprised though that this is something that is a hot topic in a lot of relationships. As in, in TikTok, literally the only thing I see there is like, one red flag in girls, guy best friend. One red flags in guys, girl best friend. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, this is really.
So we can't
a
have
hot
friends
topic.
now?
Speaking of girl
feels like
best
a
friends,
universal
though,
problem.
have you guys ever experienced being the girl best friend, and then your best friend have like this boyfriend or something? I mean, girlfriend.
Yeah, I experienced
Yeah.
being the girl best friend, and then my best friend has a girlfriend. But it ended with something that the girl had problems with me. But I know to myself, and my best friend also knew that we weren't disrespecting each other's boundaries. Our boundaries with each other were clear, but still it resulted to some kind of problem on the girl's side. So I just decided to distance myself from their relationship because I didn't want to cause more problems for them, and I just don't want to be involved with them, period.
That's true. Me, on the other hand, I also had the same experience. The girl did not like me. I didn't know why, and I did not know that she didn't like me. Yeah, I found out 2 years after. That's why
Oh, wow, that's a
when
long
my
time.
friend,
Yeah.
my friend started distancing himself from me, and I didn't really mind because I kind of got the hint that the girl didn't really like me. So I really understood it. And after those 2 years where me and my friend were close and something happened to them, we just picked up where we left off, like nothing happened. And that is our dynamic, that we understood that the boyfriend and the girl best friend can't be friends. So there might be some people or some pairs that can't really live that way. But for me, I think it's not really a problem if I'm the girl best friend, because you save what's your part in life. You're just a part of my life. So I shouldn't let my world revolve around you as well, even if I'm just the friend.
Yeah, but what if you are the girlfriend and there is a girl best friend? How would you feel about it?
Oh,
No
So if I'm the girlfriend, and then
There's
the
a girl
guy
best
has the
friend.
guy best.
yeah, like a girl best
Yeah.
friend.
Okay. Honestly, I would also, I guess, talk to my significant other first, and it's really more in communicating with each other and making sure that, of course, they have to draw the line, draw the boundaries with the girl best friend. As a girlfriend, of course, I would want that even the girl best friend respects me as well. They both, right? I mean, there should be respect at the end of the day. So I guess it's more an open communication with each other, and really, of course, trust should be there. Trusting the person, trusting my
That's true.
significant other that nothing's gonna go wrong, hopefully, and that girl's not a threat to me. So, yeah, and of course, I would want to get to know the best friend as well more.
Do you think that helps? Do you think being friends with the girl best friend would help you have peace of mind?
I think yes, right? How about you guys? You go first. What do you guys think?
Oh, I honestly think it won't, because you would realize that your boyfriend is actually closer to his best friend. So I just can't bear with that idea.
If that happens to you, we're gonna
Oh, I
back you
see.
up.
Go Liz, go Liz. Well, as for me, I think I could be besties with a girl best friend as well. I mean, if she's best friends with my partner, then it makes sense that we could relate on another level.
Yeah, and for me also, I think that if you get to know, example, the girl more, then hopefully you kind of build that trust in that girl, and you kind of become besties, like what Chai said. You might find things in common, and you might be going shopping together.
Yeah.
Hopefully that is the case.
Going
It's not
shopping
always
for
the
your
case.
partner.
That's not always the
Yeah,
case. I
and-
think it's very
yeah.
important that how your boyfriend treats the girl best friend is not the same how he treats
yeah,
you. Like,
for
there
sure.
should
Yeah.
there should be something special with you, or something special in their friendship, because that's very important in drawing the boundary. Though if I'm the girlfriend and my partner has a girl best friend, I wouldn't really mind, as long as it's clean fun, as long as the girl likes me. Then I think everything's gonna be fun. Oh, I also have to like the girl best friend, of course. And I think everything is going to be harmonious. Everyone's gonna be happy.
Yeah. So how do you guys think should we deal with this whole best friend situation? Girl best friend, guy best friend? Because, maybe our listeners, our viewers are very curious. So what should we actually do about this? Because
Maybe
it's
some
very
of them are the
complicated.
girl best friend.
I think that people, if your partner has a guy best friend or a girl best friend, I think people would automatically assume that you need to choose between the two. But I think that if you are in a healthy relationship with both your partner or the other best friend, then you wouldn't have to choose, because both of them would understand that relationship, that you have separate dynamics between the two.
That's right. That's right. For me, I think, like what I've mentioned earlier, do not treat both people the same. Because if I am the girlfriend, and even if we establish that we want to be best friends in this relationship, I don't want to be treated like some normal best friend, right? I
Yeah.
want to receive something special as well. And I think that really helps draw the line. And if you have a problem with your partner, you have to tell your partner and don't drag another party in. Since your problem, the both of you, your problems end with only the both of you. Do not drag in someone else, because that's going to create a whole other mess. And it's going to ruin the equation, honestly. And it could break trust.
Yeah.
How about you, Liz?
To be honest, they kept on mentioning about healthy relationships and then stuff like that. But more often than not, relationships actually fall to like not so healthy category. And I think during those times, like it's really important to choose the relationship you think you value the most. Like for example, is it the boy best friend that you've been with for a long period of time? Or is it your boyfriend that you see yourself spending your whole life with? So something like that.
Like, listening now to all of what you guys said, I think it's really more on just, of course, setting the boundaries and talking about having that open communication between your partner and even the girl best friend or guy best friend, because it's really hard. I can't imagine how hard it is to actually like choose one over the other, because
Yeah.
obviously you have a best friend who you've been with for so long. Let's say you've been friends for so many years, and then suddenly this this boy, this you know,
This partner, this
Yeah, this
person
partner,
just
this
jumps into the
person.
equation.
just jumps in, you know, you fall in love and you go in a relationship. And, you know, it's hard. It's honestly hard. But so as someone who, you know, never really experienced anything like this, but have heard so many stories about it, it's really important to communicate well and to make things really clear on where you and your best friend stand. Because if you don't make it clear, everything's just gonna go so bad. You know, you're gonna be there's gonna be miscommunication. You might end up just fighting with your partner about something that you could have resolved even in the start when you guys really talked about it.
Yeah, and if you're insecure about the best friend, or if your partner is insecure about your best friend, someone has to bring it up, because you cannot fix it. Again, going back to our previous points, nothing is going to be fixed if you just keep quiet about it. So it's very, very important to let your partner accept all parts of your life. And if that friend is part of your life, they should learn how to accept them. I don't think it's very important to choose, because if they make you choose between you or your best friend, then that's where a problem is going to happen. That means that they don't accept you for you. So that needs work. And we need to understand that no relationship is ever perfect. There will always be ups and downs. There will always be red flags popping up despite the green flags. But at the end of the day, we really need to be self-aware of it, because no one is going to deal with your red flags except for you. And you have to be considerate of your partner as well.
Yeah. And you know, all of this discussion with a guy best friend, it made me realize that a possible explanation as to why our partners feel that having a guy best friend would be a red flag is because they probably see the best friend as a competition.
Yeah.
Right? Because they might think that your attention might be like diverted between the two of them. So they will like try their best to compete with the best friend, and then it would result into something bigger.
I wouldn't blame really at all on the guy or even on the girl, because, you know, it is hard at the end of the day. But, you know, as what they say, trust should also be present, and you know, again, communicating with your partner. How about you, Liz?
Yeah, I also agree with that. And also when it comes to like being jealous, I think the other person should learn to envelope himself or like herself. Like know that, not really envelope like you would hug yourself or something like that, but more of like know that you are okay on your own. Like whatever it is that you have, like what qualities you have, it is okay to have them and something like that. You shouldn't compete with other people, because your girlfriend or like your boyfriend chose you for a reason.
Right. And, you know, with all of these red flags in mind, what do you guys think is that one red flag that, you know, you would probably work on more if you were to choose between all of those three? Because they're all pretty, you know, hard.
Yeah.
What's that one red flag you would actually work on the most?
I'll go for moody, because a lot of people say that I am very moody. Like my friends, my relatives, they say that my mood within the day goes up, down, and I'm not gonna deny it that I am a very moody person. And it's actually one of my 2022 resolutions to stop being moody, because I realized that it's already affecting other people, not just myself. I am a red flag, I'll admit it.
You're a walking
You're
red
a
flag.
walking
Chay.
red flag.
At least I'm working on it.
How
That's
about
on my
you,
defense.
Liz?
I don't have these red flags. I joke.
Wow, perfect.
You know,
I think it would definitely be not respecting other people's time. Because like what I said at the beginning, I'm just really so clingy, and I tend to really try to hoard attention for myself. How about you, Sam?
I would agree with Chai on the whole moody situation. I wouldn't say I'm super, you know, 100% moody all the time. It's really more on when it's the time of the month. That's when you know, there's a lot of emotions, like a roller coaster. You know, I'm hungry, I'm mad. If the smallest things just, you know, piss me off. When it's not really, very valid. So that's something I would work on this new year. New year, new us, right? So
New
I
year,
guess,
new red
like,
flag.
yeah, like what we said earlier, maybe it's best to not always give the silent treatment and really tell the other person what's going on, whether it's your significant other or even if it's just your friend or whatnot, telling the person like why you're feeling that way. And of course, no invalidation of feelings right there, because all feelings are valid at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, because no one else is gonna deal with your red flags but yourself. Even if like other people see it, they can't do anything about it. It's gotta be you who's gotta make that change. But I think that having a red flag or a negative trait is normal, but you just gotta make sure that it won't cause bigger problems or will affect other people.
Yeah, and you should really know when to work out about it for yourself. Like, you really need to work things out on yourself first before you try to project and like build these relationships with other people.
Yeah, and having this podcast, for example, is one way to being aware of what our red flags are. Because honestly, if we don't ask, guys, what do you think about this? Or what are your perspectives on, red flags on girls? Then we wouldn't know. So it's really helpful to also see the point of view of the guys on this. Because sometimes we're too focused on like, oh, guys are like this, they should focus on fixing this about themselves. But how about us, right? There are some things that we also need to be aware of. And of course, we have to be more conscious about it, so that we could, learn to fix it in the end, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not always about them adjusting. We should also learn how to adjust for ourselves. It's for our peace of mind as well, because if we are going to keep carrying these red flags from relationship to relationship, we aren't really going to be that happy because we're trying to rely on others to fix us at the end. But in reality, it is only us who can fix ourselves.
Exactly. Now that officially wraps up the first episode of The Ladies Room. If you want to listen to more podcasts, you can check out our socials. For Facebook, go visit Green Giant FM.
And for Instagram, check us out at greengiant.fm.
And don't forget our Twitter account. It's at GreenGiantFM.
And if you want to know more things about us, you can also check out our website. It is at greengiantfm.com. And once again, this is The Ladies Room, the one-stop shop for conversations that interest the ladies. Once again, I am Yen.
Hi, bye guys, I'm Sam.
Bye-bye, I'm Liz.
Goodbye, guys. Goodbye, ladies. I am Chai.
Thank you for watching.
And that is
Thanks
it.
for joining us.
Thank you.